What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Throw Show, and we are going into probably everybody's most intense favorite event, the men's shot, especially coming off that Olympic trials qualification where in the United States where Ryan Crouser broke the world record, had a 2290 plus qualification mark, and where Joe Kovacs had a warm-up that was 23 high. So there's a lot that's going to go on. And if you want to check out some technical analysis or our reaction to those throws, click on the link down below. But let's start to get right into this. Let's go right into the American team. Crouser, Kovacs, Peyton Otterdahl. Otterdahl got bumped off the team in round 5 by Darrell Hill. Immediately on the very next throw, at the Olympic trials, on the next throw responds 2194 or 2192. What do you see? Let's keep Crouser and Kovacs out of it. What do you see happening with Otterdahl?
Dude, I mean, I think, it's his first time here, at the Olympics. He's been to international meets before, which I think is good experience, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's hit or miss. I think he could go, I think he could go big enough for the U.S. to go 1, 2, 3, or I think he could go, 21 mid and make the final but be in the mix, which is still
a great accomplishment.
Yeah, a huge achievement. Yeah, but I feel like he's gonna be. I feel like he could be hit or if he can show up and just be in the moment and just go off, I think he could go 22,
Right. I think it's interesting because even just looking at the top list, if you look at number 3 on the year, Darrell Hill is not going to be in Tokyo. He got sniped by Otterdahl. A great competition between Darrell, Peyton Otterdahl, and Awatunde. That series where, round 5, Darrell went out and went 21-89 or whatever it was, and then Otterdahl responded. Both those guys competed really, really well. And then Awatunde came up on round 6 and went 21-84. At the time, I had thought he had sniped both of them. So looking at that start list, or at this list right here, Awatunde and Darrell aren't going to be there. So it sort of brings in more spots. And you look at Phillip, and then you look at Heretic, Tom Walsh in there. I think that even as you scroll down here, as we go down into the list, Darlin Romani hasn't thrown 22 yet. He doesn't look bad based off of a couple of the throws that I've seen him post on Instagram. He looks solid. He's somebody that could just, maybe he's training extremely hard and he's looking for this huge peak. And that was something I wanted to bring up is, talking about the American team and looking at how Crouser almost has like a governor on himself and he can basically just guide himself to purposely throw less. Who knows? Maybe that 23:37 wasn't even his best. 23:50 might be where he's sitting. And then in a personal experience, I got to see Kovacs 2 days after the final bench 230 for 6. So he might not have even been 230 kilos is 506, 507 pounds. He might not have even been in that peak condition, and he threw 22:30, multiple 22-meter throws, and now you're looking at it what if he goes 23? What if Crouser's out there? So I do believe we're going to see those top 2 guys separate from the pack.
And looking at it, you really think Kovacs and Crouser were treating the trials as their peak meet of the year? I mean, now to some extent, it can't be,
It can't be taken lightly.
Right, yeah.
But
it definitely, they're going for it all,
I think that when we're talking about men's shot, there's these levels. I've had this conversation with Taman where you look at it and it's like if Taman is one level, right? Let's say Taman's level 4. He's a 20-80 guy, right? So if you're looking at 21 to 20, 21 meters to 20 meters, that's level 4. Level 3 would be guys that are 2150 throwers, but they're still going to typically throw high 20s, low 21. Someone like Tim. Tim would, to me, would be a level 3. Level 2 would be, and I think Chuck would be in there around level 3. Level 2 to me would be Walsh. Okay, and I'm not saying this to be negative because these are all amazing. Chuck,
Right.
Tim, all these guys are amazing. We've got to remember how far that throw 2180 is.
And the level 3 now was level 1 8 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's crazy is that like now you see this and it's like Otterdahl might still be that level 3 guy. I think he probably is, and I would put Darrell at level 2 with Walsh. Those are that level 2 guys, and then all of a sudden there's that next level, like the Super Saiyan level of Krauser and Kovacs. So, and honestly, Krauser we might see if he's even a superhuman, right? So it's like, I think that looking at it through those levels, that's how I try to hopefully put out a decent prediction.
Yeah.
I think those top 2 guys, it's going to be hard to play with, but I think that third spot could be, you could look at it and you could say like, if Walsh isn't in really good form and he throws 21 mid, well, now all of a sudden he could get sniped by Darlin. He could get sniped by even someone like Chuck. I could see going 2170, 2190, somewhere in that range, and same with Otterdahl. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to that level 2 guy and how those level 3 guys compete and the pressure they put on each other. And I do think, in turn, a lot of those level 4s, the 20 to 21s, there's going to be a couple of them that do sneak into the top 12 final. Probably 2 of them that sneak into that top 12 final just because they compete well and they respond to, some of those top guys crack under pressure and they just respond and come in. You can look at the Italians. Ponzio's in there. He's thrown 2170 here at Garage Strength. And then the Fabrini, their other guy, I think he's thrown 2199 in the past. So it's like a lot of these guys are gunning for that third spot down to 6, 7, 8. Mm-hmm. So I have one question. Jason, where do you see Bob Bertemis? What do you believe he's going to throw from Luxembourg? I want to know your prediction because we haven't put Jason on the spot.
2085.
2085 for Bob from Luxembourg. That's going to be interesting to see what happens. That's Jason's favorite thrower currently in the world. All right, top 12. What's it take to make the final?
I'm going to say 70 feet.
2136, right? 2137.
I think it's like 2130 or 29.
Okay.
I don't know. I forget.
Yeah.
70 feet, though. Somewhere
Okay,
around there.
so Trevor's saying top 12 is 70 feet. I'm going to say a lot lower, and I'm going to historically back myself up. 2019 was the best world championships of all time, and I think it was 2090 was the qualifier that got into the final. And I think Joe even threw just 2090 to get through, and Tim Nedell threw 2090 to get through. So I think I'm going to predict 2086 is the number 12 spot to get into the final. What is your prediction? I have a couple questions. Can Kovacs save a 24-meter throw? Does Krauser increase the world record and beat Kovacs? And then who's the number 3 spot? Are we agreeing that,
I think we can agree
Krauser and Kovacs are
the
1 and
top
2.
two,
Okay.
depending what that is. I think here's what I think with Kovacs. I think he will make it happen because he had his big warm-up at the right meet. And
Dude, that's a really good point. Great observation, Trevor. This is why you're a world-class coach.
because he saw that warm-up. Ashley, his wife and coach, saw that warm-up.
Yeah, they saw it. I know she saw it because I made sure
And that's what they're focused on. They're like, how do we make that throw a competition save?
Yeah.
And here's my prediction. No one will throw 22 meters.
In the medals?
Yeah. There will be 2 throwers going 23 meters, and
And third-
3 will be like 2196.
Dude, that's a really cool prediction. I'm jealous that I didn't come up with that myself. Damn it. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's great. Who's number 3?
That's a tough one. That's really tough. I mean, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I think Walsh will do it. I think Walsh will get 3rd. But I don't know. I kind of think U.S. is going to go 1, 2, 3.
You're a worse homer than me.
Yeah. It's never been done before.
It's so
maybe it has way back. I don't know.
What's so pathetic is that I'm looking at this and I'm going, all right, I got Kovacs and Krauser, and we've got to talk about who our predictions are to win.
Yeah, we should actually make a prediction. I
guess. And then for 3rd, I'm going like, well, Walsh is just so good. It's going to be hard for him to lose that 3rd spot. And I'm going, well, what if Darling comes in and he takes it?
Gets what he missed out on in 2019.
Yeah, what if Philip goes and, he has that world experience in 19 where he made the final. What if he goes 21.90? He can do that. And then I start thinking about like, man, if they watch this, I hope they don't think that I don't like them because I'm not picking them last 3. Then I was also like, nobody's actually watching this video. All right, so I'm going to do it. I'm going Darlin Romani, 21.89 to get 3rd because I'm just riding Trevor's train. You want my prediction in the top 2?
Yeah.
Just because I want to be a contrarian. I just want to be a contrarian here. Joe Kovacs, 23.30. Ryan Krauser, 23.10.
I think that's something we didn't talk about either, is about the world record.
Yeah.
Well, but let me say my prediction first. I mean, honestly, I was gonna say Kovacs purely because I think he is a.
You can't say Kovacs now. You have to go with Krauser now.
All right. Well, here's my dilemma because I think Krauser is the most consistent thrower out there, and that will take him through this competition.
Yep.
But I think
Joe needs
what
9
wins
throws
competitions,
to win, basically.
though, I think consistency will always get you 95% of the way.
Yep.
But being a gamer,
look at 2019.
being
Look
the
what Joe
most
did.
intense human being on earth,
Yes.
will make that, will make the difference. It's going to be hit or miss.
Yep.
I think 50% chance he goes out and just blows everyone away, or throws low 22s maybe. But I think he's going to go. I mean, I also said he's going to go 23, so he's going to go 23 still. But I think, all right, we'll go Krauser because of consistency.
Okay. And I'm taking Joe on that one-off big one.
All right.
Not that he's not going to have other big ones, because he is.
Yeah.
But
that's not to say Krauser isn't intense and can bring the heat.
Yeah.
Either.
He clearly can.
He clearly can. Yeah.
I also feel like I've got to go with Kovacs because I always go with Krauser. People are always like, "Oh, Dane picked Krauser, cool."
Well, what I was going to go into then is whether the world record will be set at this meet.
I think for me, it's it was a struggle. Krauser set that in round 5? I think it was 4 or 5 at the trials. I think, and that was a really good setting for it because they had a 30-minute warm-up. They were in a decent circle. It was a fast circle, but it was a pretty solid circle, a good environment, easy travel. I think the part that I struggle with the world record, and I could very well be proven wrong, but the problem is you've got to warm up outside, then you only get 2 throws in the stadium, and then that's where it takes a lot more time to get into that rhythm. With that being said, too, Kovacs has thrown 22.70 this year, and in 2019, I think his best going into the world champs, I think it was around 22.50. So he's got an extra 20 centimeters based off of 2019 when in round 6 he went huge. He went 22.91. So, he could take a good solid throw in the final, in the final, in that opening round, and he does have that other gear where he might just turn it on and look for that slam throw, and he doesn't get, he's a 2-time world champ. So I think it's going to, and he's a returning silver medalist. I think it's going to be hard to break the world record. But because of it being harder, I favor Kovacs doing it because he is more of that one-off thrower. Like Krauser being so consistent, but it still needs it. The meet has to be set up for consistency, and at a World Championships or at the Olympics, it's really hard to do that. So that's my take.
All right.
I could very easily be proven wrong, and I don't care. I'm excited. I'm excited to see our guy Jason Van Rooyen from South Africa compete, and Tim Netto, who's been training here on site at Garage Strength for the last 4.5 months. I'm excited to see both of those guys compete. I think Jason could be a guy that a lot of people learn who he is, and he might sneak into that final. I think he could be one of those dudes on the outside, that level 4 guy that does sneak in. So we're going to see how these guys compete at that next stage. I'm excited for Tim, and I'm excited for Jason, and at the same time, I'm excited to see how everybody else competes, and I hope everybody does really well. Stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram. I'll be over in Tokyo, trying to keep everybody up to speed on the behind the scenes, and hopefully we've got a good showing over in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Peace.